Japan has announced the largest release of oil from its national reserves in history, responding to a growing global energy crisis triggered by tensions in the Middle East. The disruption of supply routes, especially through the vital Strait of Hormuz, has raised serious concerns for countries heavily dependent on imported oil. Japan, which relies on the region for more than 90% of its crude oil, is particularly exposed, prompting urgent government action to maintain stability. Beginning this week, the government will release approximately 80 million barrels of oil, equivalent to about 45 days of domestic demand. This marks a significant escalation compared to past emergency measures, even exceeding the scale of releases following the Fukushima disaster in 2011. By tapping into its strategic reserves at such an unprecedented level, Japan aims to cushion the immediate shock of supply disruptions and prevent a sharp spike in domestic fuel prices. The move is part of a coordinated international effort aimed at easing supply pressures and stabilizing global oil markets, with multiple countries expected to contribute from their own reserves. Officials hope that this collective response will send a strong signal to markets, helping to calm volatility and reassure both businesses and consumers. However, experts caution that while such measures can provide short-term relief, they may not fully offset prolonged disruptions in global supply chains. At home, the impact is already being felt. Fuel prices are rising, leading authorities to introduce subsidies to control gasoline costs and reduce the burden on consumers. These measures are aimed at cushioning households and businesses from sudden price shocks, particularly in transportation and logistics, where higher fuel costs can quickly ripple through the broader economy. At the same time, signs of public anxiety are emerging, with reports of panic buying not only for fuel but also for everyday essentials. Long queues at petrol stations and increased demand for basic goods reflect growing concern among citizens about potential shortages. In response, officials have urged calm, reassuring the public that there is no immediate supply crisis and that distribution networks remain stable. While Japan has resisted calls to take military action in the region, it continues to focus on diplomatic efforts and economic measures to navigate the crisis. However, uncertainty remains high. Energy experts warn that supply disruptions could persist for weeks or even months, and alternative sources may take time to fully compensate. For now, the oil release provides temporary relief, but the long-term outlook for global energy stability remains unclear.
Then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.